So starting with this is the first question that we'll be seeing. So in these series of videos, I'll be showing answers for 30 questions and I'll be teaching whatever is inside it so that we can make it easier for you to understand whatever is given here. Rather than you studying, me explaining can help you even better, in a better understanding of the subject and the answers and the questions. So let's go. This is the first question. I'll upload a video for each question and answer. So this is the first question, part A, and I'll also show part B, which is this. Okay, I'm going to read the question for you. Question 1, nature and significance of business environment. This is the question 1, that is describe the nature and significance. Number 2 will be state how environment is affected by the business. Okay, so this is what we'll be studying in this question. To see the full question list, I hereby attach the copyright from Navi classes, which is on YouTube. I'll link the channel below. I'll link the particular video from where I got these 30 questions. This is not what I framed, but rather these are the substantial part. These questions cover substantial part of the portions. So this can help you understand the subject better, and you will be able to write all the questions or at least most of the questions and get better marks than just passing the marks. Okay, so let's go with the first question. So what is given here is nature and significance of business environment. First, you have to understand what is business and what is business environment. So here we can understand that business environment consists of so many business firms actually. So business environment is a bigger term, while business firm is a smaller term. So a lot of business firms together has influence on business environment, because not a single firm can't individually influence a business environment. For that, you have to understand what is business environment in the first place. So here you can see any change in the environment that could be related to a business. Any changes that could be related to business in the environment can influence any business, and such an influencing factor is called as a business environment. It has direct influence on business firms, is what we have to understand before starting this whole question. Okay, so what we are saying is business firm is just a unit, is just a small unit or a microeconomic unit of a business environment, because business environment itself is a macroeconomic, which means big. Macro means big, micro means small, like we all know. Alright, so business environment is a bigger term, while business firms are smaller terms, and business environment actually influences the firms. Alright, that's why I did the small drawing so that you can understand it better. So you have to understand that the factors in the business environment are interdependent. That is, so many things what influence a business environment is what you should understand. So many influence, so many things so many things contributes to business environmental changes. So there could be so many changes, and those could be broadly classified as economic factors and non-economic factors. That is given in this third para in the book that we are seeing. Okay, this para, it says the broad factors and also the smaller factors. So the broad factors here are economic factors and non-economic factors. All right, non-economic factors consist of issues. So how, like, let's say the business environment is influenced by a lot of things. Okay, so anything that happens in the environment that is related to the business will influence the business firm, is what we have to understand. So now coming back here is, whatever happens in the business environment can be classified into two broad categories, which can be economic factors and non-economic factors. Economic factors here could be related to income, could be related to any financial policy, any fiscal measures, anything that's adopted by the government which is related to money and such monetary things about the country. Anything that influences the economy could be economic factors, and these could be those issues, examples. And because of these, if there are any changes in this, that would be a change in the economic factors that can actually affect the business environment. Similarly, here you can see non-economic factors. Non-economic factors could be culture, tradition, history, political, sociological, and other issues. So these could be non-economical, which are not economic factors. So these could actually affect these are the other cause of business environment, another factor that can actually affect the business environment, which means business environment in turn will also affect the business firm. So here, after this, we have to come to the different other types of economic factors. What else could actually influence the business environment? Next is socio-economic factors, which could be a combination of both social conditions and economic factors. Another example could be politico-economic environment, which could be a combination of both political situation and economic issues. All right. So next we have to understand an example. Why, like for example, how a business environment can actually affect a business firm is what we have to understand. So we all know the motive, the ultimate motive of any businessman is profit maximization, which means increasing their profits of doing a business and getting money from it. The businessman's ultimate aim is to increase their profits or maximize their profits, right? So let's say this is a businessman and his ultimate aim is maximization of profits, and this is society and people as a whole. They consider when any businessman is going to run a business, and if his aim is going to be a maximization of profits, it's going to be a social sin, as because out of it we don't receive anything. In the sense, his business, for his business we are giving money because he sells his products to us and instead we give them money, but for the money that I pay I don't get anything, is what they think. He only concentrates of himself and he wants to increase the profit. This is what he is concerned of. This is what the society thinks. So for that, what the so they think it's a social sin, and thus the society call them as profiteers, and the society is not happy that the businessman's aim is the maximization of profit. All right, so now we have to understand that after in such a situation he has to respond to the requirement of social factors, else he can't make profits. So what will this businessman do now? He will actually rephrase the sentence. Instead of saying that he would want to maximize the profits, he will be like the optimization, that is the maximization. Again, optimization is basically most like maximization. Okay, the maximization of satisfaction of the people is important to us. This is what he'll now be saying, but his aim will still be maximization of profits. But just because these people won't buy products from him and make him run his business, he will have to rephrase his sentence and say optimization of satisfaction is his main aim. Whose satisfaction? The society's satisfaction. He'll be like, I'm going to run this business and my aim is to make you guys, you society, more satisfied with the products that I'm making. So in that way the society will now think, okay, now I'm satisfied with the products. His ultimate aim is satisfaction of my satisfaction of my needs, so I am okay with this. So businessman will now also make profits, society will also now get satisfaction, which is equilibrium, satisfaction in both sides, which is equilibrium between the business and the society. All right, so here you can see there is a balance striken. There is a balance striken between the business and the society, which is in the optimum level, which is in the maximum level. Alright, you have to also understand this one, where business operations, while conducting any business operation, business activities, screening of social environment is very important. Social environment is basically the business environment that we were talking about. The environment screening is nothing but monitoring, looking at it or understanding it is very important, and also within the scope of social norms. This is what the social norm was. Here they were not actually okay with them being with them having their ultimate aim as maximization of profits. So for example, this is a social norm. So social norm is society not being okay with the businessman's aim as maximization of profits. So within and as per social norms, so business operations should be conducted with these two. That is what they have to also understand the environment. They also have to they also have to decide anything according to the social norms only. And you have to understand one basic main point is that the business environment is highly dynamic. What is highly dynamic? Highly dynamic is highly changing, very changing. All right, so any business environment is very changing because there are so many factors that happens in the world, so many things that happen in the world which can actually affect our business, which can actually become a business environment, and which can actually affect our business. All right, so there is an element of uncertainty. Uncertainty is you don't know what is going to happen. Okay, that is the meaning of uncertainty. You're not certain, you're not sure of what is going to happen. So there is all, since the business environment is always changing, it's always highly dynamic. Okay, you can't say because it is dynamic, there is always a element of uncertainty. You will never know what is going to happen next. So in such a situation, forecasting in the sense going to see what is happening, predicting what will happen in the future, that will always, there will all, because of this there will always be a exposure to risk. In any business you will be taking decisions in the related to the future, right? Thinking of future, what's going to happen, only you take business decisions. So that's called forecasting. There, because of the element of uncertainty, okay, because of the element of uncertainty, forecasting will always expose us to risks, business risks. Okay, business risks. And then because of because of the business environmental dynamic changes, your business can be actually exposed to risk, is what we understood in the previous para. And now you have to understand that the business environment or the environmental factors must always be scanned before running any operations. And it is very crucial. What is very crucial? Proper understanding of economic factors, environmental factors, sorry. Proper understanding of environmental factors is very crucial in the sense important. And focus is limited to important ones. There can be so many things that's happening in the environment, but only what is affecting your business is important. Only what is affecting your business is important. So focus on that can actually help you do better in the business. Okay. And next comes to the classification. All right, this is classification based on the what how business environment is classified according to the following criteria. There are four criteria, which is time, space, factors, and forces. What kind of factors are the business environment affected by? So according to time, past, present, and future. So any business environment, and there can be any past events that happen in the business environment that could that could affect the business environment. Any present, something that is happening now, or something that is happening in the future can affect the business environment, which can actually affect my firm. This is how you should understand this. Space, locate, local, regional, national, and international. That is, local is where the particular business is happening. Regional is where the is where the place that is surrounded by the business firm, and national is according to the country level, and international is whole worldwide level. Anything that's happening in the worldwide, will it affect my business? Anything that's happening, let's say, in another state of India, will that affect my business? Or anything that happens, let's say, in a particular state, example, let's say Delhi. So or let's say Uttar Pradesh. So anything that happens in Uttar Pradesh, and let's say the businessman lives in Tamil Nadu, so he should think anything that happens in the Uttar Pradesh will affect me as a businessman in Tamil Nadu, or anything that happens for a businessman, anything that happens in UP, will it affect the businessman in UP? Something like that. And this will come to city basically. And factors, economic and non-economic, like we actually read here. These two examples. Factors. Okay, these are actually the broad classification. And then forces are market forces, that is the price and all that, political events such as elections and things, and social ups and downs. And you have to understand that economic and non-economic are closely related. That is, closely related in the sense they are interdependent. They depend on each other. Okay, you can't actually distinguish these both, because they actually have so many factors that make them difficult to classify. Here you can see it in the last para. It says they are so closely related, interact with each other, and the task of identification in the sense identifying whether it's economic or non-economic, it's actually more complex, in the sense difficult. So there has to be a proper understanding of the environmental factors, is what we have to understand. Okay, this is what we studied in this whole question. We've completed the whole question. So you have to see that there is part 1 and part 2, and the answer is in page 6 and page 7, and it ends here.